Okay, first of all, it was really great to be out there on the practice field with our players. Our coaches were extremely excited, and our players were too. So that was something we've been looking forward to. They've worked extremely hard to get this point, and so it was a real good atmosphere. We divided up the first part of practice with an emphasis on our older guys, and we really let them get out there, try to show the younger guys the pace, the expectations. And then halfway through, we did some special teams. And then the second part of practice, we really slowed things down and really tried to spend quality time with our young guys, really at every position. And just felt like, we need to do that. And we'll do the same thing tomorrow, and then we'll see where we're at, and then we'll, come together. Also, I'd like to let everybody know that Ricky Parks will no longer be on our team. He's been dismissed for violation of team rules. And like I've said before, we have high expectations for our players on and off the field. We wish him nothing but the best. So, open up for any questions.
Gus, this is Bob Holt from the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. How did you do to get the reps being the quarterback?
Pretty equal. The first part of practice, we let the two older guys that went through spring. We let our two new guys kind of sit back and kind of watch and see how everything went. And then the second part, the two new guys got all the reps of rotation. So I'd say overall, I bet it was very equal between the four of them all day.
Gus, Demetrius didn't take part in practice today. What was?
Yeah, he's got a medical issue he's working through, but it shouldn't be much longer, and we really expect him to make a full recovery.
How did the two new quarterbacks throw the ball today, first day of practice?
They both have very live arms. The ball comes out of their hands very well, and they get the ball out quick, which is very critical to what we do offensively.
How's it working? Trying to put four quarterbacks out there and give them all a good look.
Oh, there's no doubt it's a challenge. I mean, when you got four guys, that's a big challenge. But I really like our strategy about trying to divide things up, and especially the new guys. I mean, there's a lot have to do with our offense, just the communication, from the sideline before the play starts. And so it's good for them to get the reps, and but yeah, until you can get them in scrimmage type situations, and you learn a lot evaluating quarterbacks in 11-on-11 situations. And we had some today, but obviously when you're not in pads, it's a little bit tougher.
Until you get to that point with the quarterbacks, with being out of pads, not going live 11-on-11, what are you evaluating from them to see how their progress is early in camp?
Well, you're evaluating everything. You're evaluating how quick they can pick up. You're evaluating, how they can execute your base fundamental offense, and you're also evaluating how the teammates respond to them. And if they don't turn the ball over, I should have said that. I didn't want to leave that out.
Was that clean today?
There was a few mishaps, but that's to be expected.
Coach, not a lot you can tell from maybe the first day of practice, not in pads. Was there anything that surprised you about your team that you saw today?
Anything that surprised me?
Yeah.
Really, it wasn't too much surprise. I expected our guys to come out there excited to practice, and for the most part, they did that. It was hot out there outside early. It was good to be out in the heat, see how they reacted, but really wasn't surprised. I really expected them to be ready to practice, and for the most part, I felt like they were.
With the first look at those guys on the field for you,
Yeah.
you pleased with how they came in terms of
I'm real excited. The first day of fall camp, we're less than 30 days away from our first game, and we know a lot about the old guys and the energy from the young guys and the depth. I mean, it was really exciting to be out there and get the first look, at this year's team.
Gus, you mentioned the other day in Birmingham that you think Marshall can throw the ball 80 yards, and former Georgia teammates Aaron Murray saying he can throw the ball further than anyone he's seen in his life. It's the first practice, but now that you got to see him on the field, was he able to show off his arm strength a little bit today?
He has very good arm strength, there's no doubt, and not just the long throws, but he throws the short throws real hard too. And it's just going to be a matter of him learning the offense. At times when to put touch on the ball, but he's got an outstanding arm.
What kind of, Jeremy Johnson really stands out there just because of his size.
Yeah.
How do you think he handles that? As a freshman, what do you expect him to?
Well, Jeremy's run a similar offense before, and so a lot of the communication stuff, he's got down. it's just a matter of learning a few new schemes and the ins and outs. He's also got an outstanding arm too. The ball comes out of his hand extremely well, and we recruited him specifically for this offense.
Some of the older guys I talked to said they tried to teach the new guys who were there this summer, give them a sort of head start on practice. Did you see any signs of something?
That's been very encouraging. I even saw that today, that our veteran guys, and they know we got some talented young guys, but they are really trying to help them. And, we talked to our team about coming together. I'm very proud of our old guys as far as that aspect of helping their teammates and really be there for the young guys. That means a lot going forward.
Other than the two new quarterbacks, were there any other newcomers specifically that you were really just wanting to see just because of reports or anything?
I'd say all the guys that we recruited, we're trying to give them a really good look to see how quick they can pick it up and can they help us? Can they be in the two deep, in the next couple of weeks before we start specifically game planning? So everybody that we recruited, we gave them a very good look today. We'll give them a very good look tomorrow and the rest of the week.
I know they're out of pads, but your new guys along the defensive line, Elijah Daniel, Carl Lawson, Davis Adams, I know they're out of pads, but just first impressions seeing them on the field wearing the jersey.
Well, they look good out there, I'll tell you that. It's just a matter of how quick they can catch on. And, but it's really hard to evaluate offensive and defensive linemen until you get pads.
Is there, Coach, in your experience, looking back on it, is there a way to evaluate which freshmen are going to be able to shake off the whole I'm lost thing, or is it just a crapshoot?
Yeah, my experience is, there's a lot of guys talented enough to play early, but, there's a lot of them at the moment's a little too big, and it takes them a little bit to get used to the speed of the game and the mental grind and everything that goes with that. So, but that's what we're looking for. I mean, we're trying to figure out the ones that can handle it, and we'll try to put them in as many of these situations we can so we can figure that out sooner rather than later.
Any idea how long it'll take Kamai Harold to get back in the groove and get out there with his teammates?
At this point, that's, we're hoping soon, but I can't be more specific than that.
Other than Kamai, is everybody else healthy, ready to go?
For the most part, I feel like we're a very healthy team for the most part. We're the ball team.
Will Avery be able to go through full
Oh yeah,
contact when
he's
things
good to go.
start?
He's ready to go.
Coach, there's some pretty big weight changes from the spring for the guys who are returning, some for the recruits and their weights that they came in and listed as police in their recruiting profiles. Are you happy with the size, particularly of Kyle Frazier, who I think lost 10 or 15 pounds? Nick Marshall came in, I guess, from his recruiting profile, said he lost 20 pounds. Ben Bradley lost 15 pounds.
Yeah, our guys have worked extremely hard, and Coach Russell has some before and after pictures, and they're really enlightening. So tells me that they're changing their body. We knew when we got here we need to get stronger, and I feel like we have. I mean, you always need to be strong up front in this league, and, but we're happy with the work they've done in the offseason.
What do you plan to do with just the quarterbacks? You change it up at all these next 2 days before you pick things back up?
No. With the same plan tomorrow, and then we'll get into one big practice, and but we'll continue to have fairly equal reps as long as we need to before we can start cutting things down.
Even though they're not in pads, as you said, there was some mishaps. It's good to be able to go back after a day and show them, here's
No
what
doubt,
we did.
no doubt. There's nothing like learning and making mistakes when you're on the practice field, not the game.
Can you talk about Tuberville obviously walking on, just
Yeah.
a nice connection obviously with Auburn's past here.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He wants to be a coach. He's a coach's son, great kid, and loves Auburn. We're glad to have him back.
Anything else? All right, Coach.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you, Bob.